The freaking helicopter to pass by. I can't have this in here. I'm like, I can never get. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Coop'd Up podcast. It is your host, Josiah. How are you guys doing today? I am so excited to be here in this chair to talk about all of the things that are cooped up in my head from this week. Oh boy, I can't even, like, there has just been so much that has been going on. First of all, you have Jaisha sitting in the chair right now, okay? We are filming, it's Saturday, and I woke up so late today that I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't feel like doing anything. I know I have to record this episode, and after that, I have no idea what's going on. All of my friends have been asking me, they're like, what are you doing this weekend? It's Labor Day weekend, and it's so funny to me because last year for Labor Day, I had no plans. I had no friends. And now, like this year, I have everyone's texting me and asking me like what I'm doing for Labor Day. A lot of my friends have asked me to come over to go to the pool, which I'm down, but I am just not in a big hosting mood, even though I did say that I was down to have a Labor Day party. I just don't know if I'm in a big hosting mood, like trying to like get everybody together. And I know that there's this guy down the street. Well, he's not a guy, like this man, and he's had a couple parties before. And I was telling him about Labor Day last weekend, and he decided to have a full blown Labor Day party because I said something. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go to that, and then if I want to have people over for the pool and stuff afterwards, then like we can do a whole Labor Day like after party at my place. But like I don't think I want to host anything officially this year. I feel like I just want to be able to go enjoy myself with others and not necessarily trying to have attention on me for the party. Like I just want to be able to just enjoy myself and relax. But I feel like this whole week I've just been doing so many different things. I remember I saw the girl in my in my building who I talked to, and I haven't seen her in a minute, and she was telling me about how she was feeling sick, and that's why she hasn't seen me. And I was like, girl, you haven't seen me because I've been everywhere. I have been saying yes to so many different things. It's crazy. Every time someone texts me, I only know the word yes, which, you know, I'm trying to be cognizant and just aware of, my situation, and just trying to decide what's best for me in terms of just how much money I should be spending every time I'm going out, because daddy don't got it all like that. Like I have to go to my actual daddy, my parents, to get more money when I need to do stuff. So I really, I've been going out, I've been having a good time, but we gotta slow it down. I feel like the next time that I should be doing something that's major should be Halloween, which I love Halloween. My outfits, I already have them planned in my head. I am so freaking excited. There is one Halloween costume. I've been trying to get a friend to do it with me for years, but I just haven't had the right friend. And I think I might have found that right friend for this right Halloween costume this year. And so everyone knows I love to do multiple looks for Halloween. So I really do think I'm like this close to convincing him to do it with me. And I think that the Halloween costume would be iconic. Iconic. And I want you guys to let me know, what do you think that I am going to be for Halloween this year? What do you think duo costume I'm gonna do for Halloween this year? I know I always go all out, and this year I'm trying to go like I wanted to do this costume last year, but obviously I'm like, it wouldn't have been as special, I think. Whereas this year I feel as though it would be more appreciated. And so I'm trying to get the body yada yada right for the costume, and I'm just trying to do the damn thing. And I can't wait to give that wow, that shock factor, that oomph. I am I am so excited. I'm gonna be like Cardi B when she's in trial, and she's like, "Well, I was 130 pounds." Like, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you look good in this costume." I'm gonna be like, "I know. I'm 130 pounds. I'm a tiny boy, tiny." But I'm excited, and even the past years, all of my Halloween costumes have been more flamboyant. I think they've gotten more and more flamboyant over the years, especially since I've started to express myself more. And even I posted on TikTok this video of me, and I pretty much said, I was like, if you think I'm hot on TikTok, like, follow me on Instagram. And when you post on TikTok, they'll put like a category that your video should be in, and like in terms of like the search bar or what have you. And when it said search bar for me, it said androgynous model, which, I'm not mad at it. I feel like that has been my style over the past year. And I'm trying to move into, that fluidity, the flexibility, the modelesque. I want to be model size. And I believe that I am working towards that. So I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone to see what my Halloween costume is going to be. I'm excited to even post it. And even that will be interesting. I find that, my audience on Instagram is all over the place. And, your Instagram is you're supposed to cater to a specific audience, to a specific demographic, to a specific niche, right? But I don't have a necessary niche. I guess I'm just like a fun, outlandish boy who'll say whatever he wants to say, but he looks good doing it and likes to travel. Maybe that will be my niche. But I don't necessarily care what I post on Instagram based off of like my followers. So, I find that I'm posting a lot more gay things. I guess let's say that I'm finding that I'm posting a lot more gay things on my Instagram, and then the straights are getting upset because they're like, "Oh my God, I'm like pretty much opening gay porn on my Instagram every time I open it because you're posting half naked stories or whatever." And I was just like, whatever, I don't care. Because to me, I feel as though that it is so interesting, because even though people will have something to say about what I'm posting, they'll still follow me. They still want to see what I'm doing. And like, to be honest, like, I left Florida because like I didn't really have any, like, when I was in Florida, I didn't have any gay friends. I think everybody that I knew was straight, and it was just like, it's not very comfortable being around straight people all the time, whereas like the world is already straight enough. And so a lot of people, I feel like in my life, like I am the only gay person, queer person, whatever person that they've ever come in contact with in their life. And so I'm the exception, right? Like I'm the rule to their beliefs on what they think about the LGBTQ community or whatever, and that I get a bypass because I'm cool and I can fit into this heteronormative society if I really needed to. But like, I honestly think it's quite bullshit. And this is Jaysha coming out. Jaysha's gonna talk now because I actually wanted to talk about this on today's podcast episode, because, I remember like 2 years back, right? I went to, and this is no shade, no tea to the girl that I'm about to talk about, but I remember like 2 years ago when I was living in Boston, I went back to Tampa for Gasparilla, okay? And if you don't know what Gasparilla is a pirate parade party that shuts down all of Tampa. I think it's either the third or the last Saturday of every January. And it's like a whole thing. I did it for 4 years when I was in college. And so when I was living in Boston and I had the opportunity to go back again, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going. So I went to Gasparilla long story short, I ran into this girl, and let's call her Miranda. Her name is Miranda, okay? And I like Miranda. I haven't seen her in 8 million years. She's younger than me. But I saw her and I was like, oh my God, Miranda. Like, I haven't seen you in forever. Obviously, because I live in fucking Boston. But I was like, I haven't seen you in forever. Like, how are you? Like, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I'm good. She's like, oh my God, guess what? And I was like, what? And she goes, did you know that I'm bisexual now? And I was like, no way. Really? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I just felt like I needed to tell you. And I was literally like, cute. Okay. Like, I've known I was gay since I was like 12. I've been telling all of you that I was gay for the past 4 years. Like, just coming up to me and you're like, oh, by the way, I'm bisexual. I'm like, you're fucking weird. But I love Miranda. Did I say her name? Yeah, I love Miranda, if that was the name that I gave her. She's super nice. She's super sweet. She supports the podcast. So, like, I'm not going to hate on her. But, like, I just find it funny that people feel as though that I am, like, they told me. So, like, now it's acceptable to the world. Or, like, the other day, and I had a conversation with my friends about this because this involves some people that I really do care about. And so I'm going to try and keep this, it involves people that I really care about. And I think that what people don't understand when it comes to a lot of things also is that when you post things on the internet, right, like everybody can see it. And so you need to be aware of the things that you're posting if you are talking about other people. I, for example, just used a pseudonym for Miranda to talk about her, but I am telling a real story. Now, I have this person who was in my life a couple years ago who is on TikTok right now as well. And she is, I would say she's going through, I'm not going to say she's going through a hard time, but I would say she's going through not an identity crisis, but she's coming to terms with herself. I guess she's doing a little bit of exploration. Let's put it that way. She's exploring her sexuality, which is fine. I am all for people exploring their sexuality, figuring out who they are, but you should not do it at the expense of other people. Okay? And when I say at the expense of other people, I mean at the expense of other people if you're talking about it on the internet. Okay? You should not be going on the internet and making up made up stories because it's something that you believe, but it's not true. You can have your own belief and it not be true. So we're going to get into it because there is this girl that I know. Her name is, let's call her Lindsay. Okay, so Lindsay, she has been in multiple long-term relationships with boys. Okay, and that's all fine and dandy. You know, I feel like a lot of straight people, they have really long-term relationships and then they break up and then they get into another relationship and then they do that for another long-term. And it's just a cycle instead of trying to figure out who you are. And it's funny because I said this actually on the last podcast about people being in relationships for so long and not knowing who they are and then coming down the years later on and then figuring out that they're gay or whatever. So this actually, I'm glad I'm talking about this because it ties into last episode, okay? So this girl, Lindsay, is going on TikTok and talking about how she is queer now and she, you know, is exploring her sexuality now and she's talking about it on TikTok. Cool, fine, fun, fresh. I didn't know any of this until the other day. Lindsay texted me. I haven't talked to Lindsay in 5 years, 6 years. Lindsay texted me her TikTok and I didn't even have her number saved. So I was like, who is this? So I click on the TikTok and it's her talking about how she was in a homoerotic relationship with one of my good friends, unbeknownst to all of us, we didn't know about any homoerotic relationship. And trust me, I would know because I was pretty much sleeping with a lot of people in Greek when I was in a fraternity. And so my friends knew about it. I mean, other people found out about it as well. But it wasn't something that I was making up. Like if I was telling a story, I had proof to back it up. Miss Lindsay, you were in no type of homoerotic relationship with my friend that we didn't know about your canon event into becoming a baby bisexual. And this is not me making fun of Lindsay. This is me just saying that if you're going to tell stories, make sure your stories are factual. And then to top it all off, Lindsay has like some of like these girls from our past who everybody knows as well. They're on these TikToks commenting about, yeah, girl, we saw that too. Like, we saw that too. What the fuck did y'all see? Someone please tell me what the fuck did you see? Because I was there and I didn't see it. I didn't see shit. And it's funny too, because I was actually going through the TikTok. This is not me bashing Lindsay. This is me bashing Lindsay's methods of exploration on TikTok. Okay? One of the girls commented on her TikTok. One sec. Oh, you guys are lucky that these outdoor sounds make me stop talking. I saw this girl commenting on Lindsay's TikTok, talking about this girl's commenting on Lindsay's talk. This girl is commenting on Lindsay's talk. This girl, I can't even say it. I'm getting so annoyed. This girl is on Lindsay's TikTok talking about, yeah, girl, right, heard. Girl, didn't you just have a baby with a gay man? Why are you encouraging this behavior? I don't know. And it's just like things like this. It irks me because also at the same time, why did you send me this TikTok? Why are you sending me a TikTok about false narratives when I was there? I don't know. Maybe she wants me to talk about it. Well, congratulations, Lindsay. I'm talking about it on the podcast. Just stop talking nonsense, please, on TikTok because it's just not conducive to people involved. And I'm not going to comment on the TikTok. I'm not going to add fuel to the fire. I'm not going to even give it that attention. I'm going to give it the attention here and I'll let everybody else know that Lindsay's making up shit on TikTok. And that's my other spiel about people coming to me and talking about their bisexuality. I'm not even into bisexuals, okay? I don't like bisexuals. And I'm going to say it right now and I'm going to get flamed, but I don't think bisexuals exist. They scare me, okay? And maybe that's from my own trauma, but I'm not fucking with a bisexual, okay? I was out even earlier this week. I was out and I was kind of like, I wasn't flirting with this guy, but I was like trying to get his like shtick, you know, like I was trying to feel him out. I was trying to see his vibe and we were just talking and like this and that. And I was like telling him, I was like, I didn't know that Akbar. So we were at this bar. I was at this bar called 4100 earlier this week. One of my friends invited me out for someone's going away party. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll pull up. I had never been to 4100. And so I was like, oh, let's see what the vibes are. Let's see how it is. So as I'm driving there, I pass a bar called Akbar that I've gone to before. And I was like, oh, I know exactly where I am. Why did I not know that 4100 was like right down the street from Akbar? I don't know. But so I drive past Akbar. I'm at 4100. We're all chilling. We're all kumbayaing. And there's this guy I'm sitting with my friends at this table, right? And we're smoking cigs. I had like a cup water or something. I don't know. I had like a seltzer, something. My friends were drinking. And we're all sitting there. We're smoking cigs. We're having a conversation. We're chit-chatting. And these two guys come over and they sit down in front of my friends who are girls. And so the way we're sitting at like this picnic table, right? So there's 3 girls, my friend, me, and then the two guys come and sit at this other side, on the other side of the picnic table, because we did have these three guys who were sitting here on the picnic table originally, but then they left. So these two guys come over, they're sitting down, and now they're talking. We're all playing musical chairs within like the next 30 minutes. Everyone's talking, getting up, going to talk to other people, having drinks, whatever. So now at this point, it is me and one of the girls who I'm also friends with. She's sitting next to me, and then the two boys are sitting across from us. So the boy diagonal from me is flirting with the girl who's next to me, and then I'm just talking to the boy who's in front of me. So him and I are just talking, we're chit-chatting. I'm telling him how I've never been here before. I was telling him that I would rather be at Akbar, this, that, and the third. He was asking me how Akbar is, and I was like, oh, it's good. It's like a gay bar. I was like, have you ever been to Akbar? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, then that probably doesn't, I'm like, I don't know, maybe have you ever been to a gay bar? And he was like, yeah, I've been to plenty of gay bars. He's like, I'm bisexual. I literally, as soon as he said he was bisexual, I went, oh, I was no longer interested in him. And the funny thing is that when he first introduced me to him, he said his name was Riley, and he has like reddish hair, right? And he's like, yeah, my name's Riley. And I was like, ooh, because I dated a guy who has red hair and his name was Riley. And I was literally like, I'm not doing this again. But I was like, you know what? We can't put people in a box when we don't know them. So then when he said he was bisexual, I was like, oh boy, that's strike two. I was like, we're not going to strike three. I'm not continuing the conversation. Like, I've lost interest. We can just kumbaya and chill and kiki. Like that, as soon as he said bisexual, I was like, skirt, I'm out of here. Because I just feel like I'm not out here trying to compete. Okay? Like, it's bad enough as a gay man trying to make sure that your man is not already trying to fuck another gay man. Let alone now you want to add girls to the mix? No. Mm-mm. So he was cut off. He was cute, but cut off. I won't do it. I want to see what else. There was something else that I really wanted to talk about. So I want to talk about something, since we're talking about, since we're on the topic of bisexuals, and, we have gone through some of the letters of the LGBTQIA alphabet today. We've talked about lesbians, kind of. We've talked about bisexuals and the gays. So I feel like this would be a good time to talk about the T in LGBT. So I'm probably not the best person to probably talk about this part, but as someone who has two nieces, I can relate to what some of the people have to say, and not necessarily about what it's directed at, okay? So the other day I was at work, we're just chit-chatting with some of my coworkers, and one of them goes, oh my God, there is another school shooting. And I said, where? And she was like, Minnesota. And I was like, oh, okay. And first of all, I literally said that, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this world is fucked. Because the fact that you said school shooting and you told me that it wasn't where we live, and I was just like, oh, okay, and completely disregarded it, is honestly, it's upsetting, because we've become so desensitized to these school shootings. Especially, I'm 28. I feel as though that I've been dealing with school shootings my entire life. And it's something that we've become so desensitized to. So when I hear it, it's just like, oh my God, another one. But the way that everyone is going about using this propaganda based off of the person who did the school shooting, okay? So it was a trans person. I haven't looked anything up, so I'm not going to say if it was a trans man or a trans woman, because I don't know. A trans person committed a school shooting, okay? And it is very upsetting. It's sad. Kids should not be having to go through this, should not be having to deal with this. But the media is trying to label it as a them versus us issue. And it's not a them versus us issue, it's an us versus us issue, because school shootings have been happening for decades, okay? And trans people just now becoming the ones who are doing the school shootings is insane, and trying to pinpoint all of them on to trans people and using that as a way to take away the rights of gay people is insane. Because who is going to talk about the priests who are molesting children, yet you want to involve the church in state, and state is supposed to be separate from church? But you want to talk about trans people committing all of these mass shootings? One, is insane, and two, it's upsetting. I think that we should just get gun laws that protect everybody and don't make it a them versus us situation. That's number one. Number two, I saw this kid who I follow on Instagram. I'm pulling my phone up for this, okay? There's this kid that I follow on Instagram. I've known him since I was little. He has a daughter. He was giving his 2 cents on the school shooting, okay? I saw something that he said on Instagram, and I literally had to write it down because I was freaking shook. He said, I was literally shook. Okay, so I'm going to read. This is what he said, quote, "Of course, another school shooting by one of those tranny they them fucking weirdos," end quote. I am not for spewing hate like that and trying to intertwine that with your children. And the reason why I say that is because I love the way that people talk, and karma just bites them in the ass. And I'm not saying that he's saying this and his daughter is gonna become a trans person. That's not what I'm saying. But history has a pattern of repeating itself. I have known people who have done the most horrific things, and their karma has come to bite them in the ass that they don't even know about. Okay? So just watch what you're saying when you say stuff on the internet, because people be saying some real bold things on the internet, me included. But people don't realize that the internet and the real world, eventually they will intertwine, okay? And it will catch up to you. From someone speaking from experience, okay? Someone who's speaking from a lot of experience, it will catch up to you in the real world. So please, when we're just talking about things on the internet, and we're talking about people on the internet, make sure you're spewing factual things, because people might come with receipts, and people who have receipts have the truth, and the truth shall set you. I can't even speak. And the truth, do I have a lisp? And the truth shall set you free. Oh my God, that was so hard for me to say that. And the truth, I literally have a lisp. And the truth shall set you free. I just realized I have a lisp, or I can't fucking say tongue twisters. I don't even think that's a tongue twister. The truth shall set you free. I can't speak. So, this is just my little reminder for you guys. From the gay that you all know to love to hate, to you guys, just watch what you're saying. And this is what I'm here for, to tell you guys. Because honestly, like I said earlier, some of you don't have gay people in your life, and you never will. And I'm the only gay person in your life who's going to sit down and tell you that what you're saying is fucked up. Fucked up. So watch what you're saying, or I'm going to out you. Lindsay. And man on Instagram. Lord Jesus. I also am going to do one, I think I want to do a shout out. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shout out one person per episode because some people deserve shout outs. And the one person that I want to shout out for this episode is my friend Lou, because she's invited me out multiple times this week. She's the one who invited me to 4100, and I am so thankful that she has been wanting to include me in more things with her and her friends. And it's funny that I say that I'm out here trying to make new friends, because the other day I was talking to someone and I was telling them, and I said, you know, a lot of the people that I've been hanging out with in California have been people that I have met in different states and other states. Like Lou, I know from Boston, and all of her friends are from Boston, and we all hang out in California. And we've just been meeting new people and exploring and adventuring, and I'm so grateful for that. And so for Lou, I love you, and thank you for inviting me out and for keeping the love alive and keeping us Bostonians strong. She's my favorite. I love her. She showers me with compliments every time I see her, and she's just a ray of sunshine. She's a ray of sunshine. She wants to make sure that everybody around her feels loved and accepted, and like I love that about her. Like I saw her there. I think every single time that she has seen me, she has been like, "Oh my God, you are glowing." She's like, "You're glowing," and she was like, she's like, "You have a different aura about yourself. Like you are just becoming," she's like, you're stepping more into yourself. And she loves it. And she just keeps complimenting me my skin also, which I love, because I remember when I was shaving my face so much and I was getting all of these razor bumps, and I was like, oh my God, I look like I'm fucking 14 again. But everyone kept telling me to stop shaving. But guess who? Bitch, my face is so clear. So thank you, Lou, for giving me the confidence each time I see you. Even though confidence comes from within, you just give me that extra little boost, that little oomph. So I love you, and you are going to be my shout out for this week. So I would like to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode. I love you guys oh so very, very much. I hope you guys like this week's version of Jaysha. I'm trying to be more real, raw, honest, unfiltered. So, I have big things coming, okay? I have talked to my friends. They've convinced me. They've told me to do some things. So I have to wait for this fucking helicopter. They're looking for my waist, and they're not going to find it. But I have big things coming. I'm so excited. I'm working. I promise you, I'm trying to work on making this a better podcast for you guys. Please, if there's anything that you want me to talk about, if there's anything you want me to say, just tell me. You can DM it to me on the Coop'd Up podcast on TikTok, on Instagram. Like, subscribe, comment, follow. And I love you guys, and I will see you guys all next week. Enjoy your Labor Day. Have fun, be safe, and stay away from Diddy parties. Mwah!